Do you know who you are? And if you don't, we hope and pray that through the Word of God, through what you've heard us say, through some ministry out there in your neighborhood, through a man or woman that God might say in your life, through your relationship with God, He will tell you and show you who you are. Because that's the only way you'll ever get life fulfillment, and that you will be able to complete the purpose and the mission that God has for you in this life.
And just along those lines, as we're gonna, I'm gonna bring us home, and we're gonna stop the recording. We're gonna leave time for comments or questions from people here. But Steve pretty much hit it on the head there. This song is here to challenge you not only to know who God is, but to understand who you are in Him. And I'm going to end it with Isaiah 53. And I was reading Isaiah 53, and I think it sums up everything we talked about today. Okay, and this is NIV. It says, start with verse 1. Who has believed our message, and to whom has the arm of the Lord been revealed? He grew up before Him like a tender shoot, and like a root out of dry ground. He had no beauty or majesty to attract us to Him, nothing in His appearance that we should desire Him. He was despised and rejected by mankind, a man of suffering and familiar with pain. Like one from whom people hide their faces, He was despised, and we held Him in low esteem. Sure, He took up our pain and bore our suffering, and yet we considered Him punished by God, stricken by Him and afflicted. But He was pierced for our transgression. He was crushed for our iniquities. The punishment that brought us peace was on Him, and by His wounds we are healed. We all, like sheep, have gone astray, and each of us has turned to our own way, and the Lord has laid on Him the iniquity of us all. He was oppressed and afflicted, yet He did not open His mouth. He was led like a lamb to the slaughter, and as a sheep before its shearers is silent, so He did not open His mouth. By oppression and judgment He was taken away, yet who was of His generation protested? For He was cut off from the land of the living. For the transgression of my people He was punished. He was assigned a grave with the wicked, and with the rich in His death. Though He had done no violence, nor was any deceit in His mouth, yet it was the Lord's will to crush Him and cause Him to suffer. And though the Lord makes His life an offering for sin, He will see His offspring and prolong His days, and the will of the Lord will prosper in His hand. After He has suffered, He will see the light of life and be satisfied. By His knowledge, my righteous servant will justify many, and He will bear their iniquities. Therefore I will give him a portion among the great, and he will divide the spoils with the strong, because he poured out his life unto death, and was numbered with the transgressors. For he bore the sin of many, and made intercession for the transgressors. If you ever get a chance, go back and I would suggest go back and read Isaiah 53, because that really kind of gives you the gravity of what happened here. You know, we talked about this. He went through the whole crucifixion. He went through the whole punishment for the sins of the world, and he didn't open his mouth. You hear that a couple of times in there. He didn't complain. He didn't try to defend himself. He didn't say, stop this. He had the power to stop it all, and he never did. He knew what his purpose was, and I think we can use that as an example to say he knew what his purpose was here. He came. He knew how long he had. He knew what he needed to do. And so we need to do the same. We need to find out who we are in him, find out what our purpose is, go out and do the will of God, and then once we're done, he will say, well done, good and faithful servant. So that's all I have, and we will conclude the recording officially, and we thank you all for watching.
Okay. Again, we're signing off here, Stephen Lyons, and thank you again for listening. I want to definitely thank our videographer, Centuria Lyons, and our sound man back there in the back, Dallas. One thing, Everlasting Life Pastor and Bishop Dallas and Eileen Lyons for opening the doors of their church, and you all for coming out and listening.
And once again, Sterling Porter, and I second everything he said. I'd just like to thank one of my biggest influences, I said earlier, was a friend of mine named Pete. I haven't spoken to him in a while, but if you see this, email me, call me something, because I want to thank you personally for, giving me, I guess, I don't want to say the talent, but you did open this up whether you realize it or not. And, of course, thank my wife for being here and supporting me and taking care of my son while this whole thing's been going on. So, and also Pastor Bishop Lyons and Pastor Eileen Lyons for opening up the doors of the church, allowing us to do this. And let's just pray for many more.
Right. We love you. Until we meet again, P&L TV. Later.